It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. From TD Garden in Boston, tonight, the Boston Celtics taking on the Detroit Pistons. The Celtics control the opening tip, and we're underway in downtown Boston. Jay, fun fact for you, of the charter franchises in the NBA, go back to that first season, 46-47. The Knicks and the Celtics, only two teams that never relocated.
Wow, that's impressive. Can I add another one? How about this? In 2008, when the Celtics won their championship, they needed 26 games to win their 17th title. By a twist of fate, ready for this one? Coach Doc Rivers, head coach of the Celtics, played for the 93-94 New York Knicks team, which held the previous record in the playoff games before with 25 wins.
Go New York, go. Jackson, his first effort, off the mark. Celtics have it. Irving to Hayward. Fires the three. Now that's a contest. And a pass stolen by Boston to Horford. And look out. Big finish at the rim. So far, so good.
Didn't take long to get this crowd on their feet. And one of the most undervalued things in sports, the 13th man, the fans. If they get you going in the game, they can help you sustain that energy.
Jackson with it. Down two. To Stanley Johnson. A pass taken away by the Celtics.
Now push it. Let's attack in transition so we can build this lead.
Irving to Jaylen Brown. Shot from the lane won't go.
And a lot of times in this league, teams take days off. But if this defense keeps maintaining that style of pace defensively, this is going to be a dogfight.
A bad pass, and the Celtics have it. Terrific vision. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Ed, did you see what this pass just did? Now it encourages his teammates to move with more sense of urgency because they understand that next time down the court, they might be on the receiving end of that pass.
Pistons have it. Jackson to Stanley Johnson. From the painted area, won't go down. To Hayward. Out of bounds the call. Off Gordon Hayward. Jackson to Drummond. The big fella, Andre Drummond. Good start. He's made his first shot.
As a team, when you establish your dominance in the paint early, it's critical to your offense because it eventually opens up the perimeter down the stretch.
Kyrie across the timeline. 2-point advantage. He gets it. Jay, you've known Kyrie Irving since he was a young man growing up in New Jersey. He's overcome a lot of obstacles, chief among them staying healthy and on the floor.
Yeah, Ed, he's been battling injuries since his freshman year of college, but the beautiful thing about Kyrie Irving is that he always loves the big stage. Making the game-winning shot in Game 7, he will continue to do so when he surrounds himself with great, inspiring leaders with the likes of such Kobe Bryant.
Oh, and he can't keep it in off the block. Man, that was impressive. Jackson. To Griffin. Runner here, won't go down. Brown into the front court. They lead it, 4-point game. Irving to Jaylen Brown. Here's a chance from long range. Tough shot there for Jaylen Brown. No good.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
To Jaylen Brown. Now a drive, but the shot won't fall.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player short on the shot.
Jay, for once, Trader Danny was Danny Ainge. Whoa, look what I found.
You know it's a bad block when somebody snatches the ball out of the air. Wow.
To Stanley Johnson. Trying to cash in. Wide open look, won't go.
And as a shooter, this is when you start to second-guess your shot. You've had 3 wide-open shots that you just can't put through the net, but still, keep hunting your shot.
Right now, the Pistons have the basketball. Has a look. And buries it. Jay, they'll take that any day.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Contested shot, Marcus Morris can't hit. To Griffin. Oh, look out. Blake Griffin. First couple didn't go. That one is true. Jay, simply put, have we seen Blake Griffin's ceiling?
I think there's a chance that Blake Griffin could potentially be better, but it will be way more difficult when you don't have an elite point guard who can pass the ball and put it for you on a platter each and every possession.
New blood coming in for both sides. To Marcus Morris. Knocked loose. To Irving. 4-3. Message received. Well defended. The possession in favor of Detroit. Kennard to Stanley Johnson. Aaron Baines pins it. That's his first of the game.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Kennard to Drummond. Short jumper won't fall. Rozier into the front court. Shot clock turned off as they get a chance to build their lead. Irving. That's good D. Shot no good.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
The quarter comes to an end with the Celtics in front. One quarter down, long way to go. So buckle up, it's wide open.
Both teams are trying to feel each other out, but I like the aggression that both teams established in the first quarter. This is the first quarter league. The way you play in the opening minutes really sets the tone for the rest of the game.
Celtics have it. Driving right to the basket. Pass stolen by Detroit.
We're going to see a team take the lead here.
Had a chance, but it's no good. To Hayward. Has a chance. Deep two there. Won't go.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning the ankle on that landing.
Pass to the rim. Lays it in off the alley-oop pass.
A man down low on the block. Drummond is going to feast in and around the basket. His field goal attempts are limited, so don't expect him to be featured, but you better have a body on him at all times and limit second chance opportunities. Let me tell you why. He collects 26.2% of all misses. That puts him in elite conversation. Him and DeAndre Jordan are the first players ever to eclipse the 26% mark, and the only player to ever do that before in the NBA was Dennis Rodman.
It's Detroit's ball. To Luke Kennard. Down to Zaza. Smith. Can't connect. To Marcus Smart. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball, but sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Unable to connect on the free throw. To Stanley Johnson. A lot of contact. Shots no good and no foul.
One of the best kept secrets in the game, utilizing a head fake. Get the defender in the air, crack into him. Don't give the refs any excuse not to call foul. I put that one on you. You went up a little bit lazy.
Hayward smothering D.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
The opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own.
Number 0, Jason Tatum.
Johnson. To Smith. Johnson. Jay, it's amazing what can happen season to season. Celtics last year, no Gordon Hayward, no Kyrie Irving. They go to the 7th game in the East Finals. Now, they have a load of expectations entering this year.
Don't forget, Marcus Smart was in and out last year. This team won 55 games after losing one of their star players in the opening game of the season. Now you think about when you have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, who really came into his own in the playoffs, Terry Rozier, who became Scary Terry, probably a guy that can start in the league but now has to play a backup role behind Kyrie. This team is locked and loaded, and they're the favorite to win the East.
Pistons ball here. Drummond. And a pass stolen by Boston.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Inside, he scores.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball, and there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Al Horford snatching it out of the air. Second block in this quarter.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Got it.
That boy's living his best life.
Boston with the basketball. To Jaylen Brown. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Can't go down. Smothering defense. To Drummond. Down low to Smith. Nice pass to get things going.
I see this happen all the time. It used to happen to me. Sometimes an easy offense allows more effort to translate to the defensive end.
Now the Celtics going to use a timeout as they'll make sure they're aligned here in a 2-point ball game. Here's Irving into the front court. Leads a bucket. To Hayward from long range. That's how you defend. To Griffin. And watch him do the rest. Slam dunk.
Everybody in the building, including myself, thought that pass was going somewhere else. Fool me once? Okay. But you're definitely not fooling me twice.
Ball's controlled by Boston. Gets it in the left corner. Knocked loose. Pistons come away with it. To Griffin. Ish Smith. Shot clock to 4 for the Pistons. For 3. Well defended. Irving with the basketball. His guys can hold for the final shot. Beyond the arc for 3. That's off the side of the rim, no good. Trying to cash in. Oh, look out. Blake Griffin. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
I love when bad shooters make shots. They run down the court saying, I should get the ball more. And that's when you say, no, you're open for a reason.
Here we go.
Deep 3 at the buzzer. That's it for the first half. The Pistons with the lead.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose, and I've got your EA Sports halftime report. The Pistons have themselves a close game after 2 quarters. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets for the Detroit Pistons. The Celtics aren't down by too much at the half. And even though they don't have the lead, they're doing a great job of moving the ball around. They might find themselves on the winning end of the scoreboard if they can keep it up. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Boston Celtics.
Game track. Steals.
Some very aggressive defense has allowed both teams to rack up a lot of steals. Ball security will be the key in the upcoming half, especially for the weakest.
Player of the half.
Andre Drummond put in the hard work that's needed to grab all of those rebounds. He was a rock for his team. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
Pistons have it. Ish Smith to Griffin. Takes stock of the floor. Oh, look out. Blake Griffin. He's now 4 for 6.
And there's nothing more mentally intimidating for your opponent than when your own teammates are unselfish and make sure that you get the ball because they want you to drop 70 on them, maybe like Devin Booker did last year.
It goes down.
I said this on draft night that Jason Tatum was the most special player in the draft. Granted, I didn't know about Donovan Mitchell, but it's hard to believe that Philadelphia traded this pick away so the Celtics can have a future star.
Ish Smith to Griffin. Knocked loose. Celtics come away with it. Gets it in the right corner. Going to launch beyond the arc. That's off the side of the rim, short.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Horford to Marcus Smart. Cleans it up. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
You know, Ed, so many times we see people flexing on social media in the offseason, but they rarely put in the work, the substance. Not Jaylen Brown. This dude's been putting in the grind every single day in the gym. He's ready.
Has a look. Shot no good there for Griffin. To Marcus Smart. And the basket good at the rim.
I'm a little bit disappointed in the celebration right there, Ed. I mean, live your best life. I want to see a little bit more passion on the next play.
To Smith. Al Horford sends it away. That's his third block this evening.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Oh, that's how it's done.
Yeah, and what we're seeing is a brilliant offensive display. You have ball movement, player movement, and great shooting to top it off. You get those three things going, you're going to be a dynamic offensive unit.
Celtics have it. To Horford. Knocked loose. Pistons have it. Ish Smith to Griffin. Oh, look out. Blake Griffin. With that shot, he's 5 for 8.
Every time I hear Blake's name, I think about what could have been. Yeah, Blake, I miss Lob City too.
Oh, it took a little longer than Celtics fans would have liked, but, Jay, they re-signed Marcus Smart. You look at what he brings. He's a modern-day defender with some throwback qualities as well.
He reminds me a lot of Dennis Johnson that used to play for those late Celtic teams. He's the guy that will get in your face, who will pick you up full court. Even if you switch off and he's guarding a 4, he'll battle behind the 4, push him off the block. There's no doubt about it. The DNA of this team starts with Marcus Smart and also Marcus Morris. These are the two toughest players on the Celtics organization.
Ish Smith to Jackson. Down for Smith. Ish Smith. He struggled just a little bit. 2 for 5.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
Here comes the screen. Irving to Horford. Fires the 3. Smooth part of his game. Al Horford drills the catch-and-shoot 3.
Leadership's greatest values occur in between the lines and not necessarily in the box score. And that's the type of leader that Al Horford is. He's the first all-star free agent to choose Boston in decades. And let me tell you this. The legacy of greatness runs deep in the family. His father, Tito Horford, was the first Dominican basketball player to ever play in the league, which goes to show you why Al has such a great feel for the game.
Jason Tatum with a piece. That's his 3rd block this evening. Shot off the mark. Good defense. Ish Smith to Griffin. A pass taken away by the Celtics.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in 1st and 2nd grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
The ball in the hands of Kyrie Irving. To Jaylen Brown. Lets it fly from long range. Jaylen Brown at the line. Knocks down the first. Second and 3, no good. To Smith. Celtics have it. Pistons come away with it. Doesn't get the bounce. Deep three at the buzzer. 3 quarters down. The 4th quarter coming up. The Pistons have the lead. It's the Celtics with the ball as we start this 4th and final quarter. We've got a 1-possession game going on. This has the look of a race that's going down to the wire.
And it looked that way from the very beginning, but this is where the coaches and the best players on the floor really earn their money. Down the stretch, it's game time.
Right now, the Pistons have the basketball. Is Smith. Able to convert inside.
You've heard it before. Slow and steady wins the race. This approach might be working out after all.
Irving. Knocked loose. Pistons have it.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
Jackson to Drummond. Knocked loose. Detroit with 4 to shoot. Wide open look, won't go.
This game is all about the small victories, though. The execution on that play was on point. You keep executing like that, those shots are going in eventually.
Inside, he scores.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
Kyrie with the rock. To Marcus Morris. Knocked loose. Pistons come away with it.
Don't play scared now. Let's push the ball. Let's get this lead up.
Reggie Jackson. Consistent effort. He's at 50%.
What a pass. I have no clue how that ball even made it through the traffic.
Count the basket inside.
So good to see one of Jersey's finest, Kyrie Irving, back on the court and driving with no issues on that knee. He only played 60 games last year, and he missed the entire Celtics postseason run. You can only imagine what this team would have done if he were healthy and they had Gordon Hayward.
To Reggie Jackson. And abuses the rim. Big finish for Andre Drummond.
You know, Ed, as a player, when I was younger, there were certain guys that you just never went around on the court. You know, the ones that just threw those random elbows, smothered you with their physicality on the block. That's Andre Drummond, the guy who leads the league in rebounding.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Hayward to Horford. To Irving. Fires the 3. Kyrie Irving at the line. First try, no good. Second of 3 is good. Whoops, that won't go. Jackson with it. Leads 5, and they call it.
A simple touch foul.
They're going to make some changes with some new personnel on the floor. Is Smith to Drummond. From the painted area, won't go down. Hayward to Irving. Here's a chance from long range. That's off the side of the rim, no good.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Into the front court, it's Irving. The deficit now up to 5. Drummond, knocked loose. Celtics come away with it. Here comes the screen. Horford. Shot from the lane, won't go. To Hayward. 4-3. Can't get the bounce.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
The possession in favor of Detroit. To Griffin. Drummond. Goes to the left side. Shot clock coming down to 4. Down to 3. Jason Tatum swats it. That's his 3rd block this evening.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Irving. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Pistons. Irving. And his woes from deep continue. It's no good again.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Nice finish at the rim.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Gets it to go, and the foul.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Jason Tatum trying to cash in on the three-point play. For his career, 82%. The free throw's good. It's a three-point play, and the lead sliced to 2. It's Detroit's ball. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Free throw good to finish off the three-point play. The lead is up to 5. Play is stopped. Timeout Boston. It's their second and final one of the last 3 minutes. They cannot stop the clock again. Hayward. Irving. And he's yet to hit one from deep. It's no good.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Baseline drive, the shot won't fall. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. He's not, and a putback slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
And they'll get the intentional foul. So 2 free throws coming up, and you figure 1 out of 2 could be enough to seal the deal.
Ed, what's that old saying? Ruffled feathers do not flock together? Well, actually, I just made that up. But what it means is that play will cause a little havoc. As designed, the team that uses it to galvanize as a unit will have the advantage.
That misses with a second to go. The Pistons are the winners as they get a good win on the road. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
David Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Pistons emerged victorious after a tight finish. When you're able to get steals like they did here today, it greatly improves your chances of winning. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Detroit Pistons. The Celtics finished on the losing end of a close score. When a team goes back and review the film, coach will probably find areas of improvement. But one thing he can't say is they should have shot better. They did a great job of scoring in this game. Check out the leading scores for the Boston Celtics.
Game track. Field goals.
Neither of these teams were able to make much of an impact on defense. As you can see here, they were each pretty successful with some efficient scoring.
Player of the game.
Andre Drummond wasn't satisfied with just getting steals. He had to insist on getting a bunch of blocks as well. Now that's what I call defense.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. Here are the top plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
This has been a presentation of ESPN on EA Sports. Until next time, I'm Jalen Rose, signing off.